Welcome to the Sports Analysis with a Gigantic Intellect. Since from the weekend, I've been planning to formulate a video that is going to be reflective upon the game that I've watched between Kaizer Chiefs and Supersport United. I've been wanting to make my thoughts upon that particular match because I was very impressed, particularly with Kaizer Chiefs, and I want to give my thoughts in relation to that. One thing that you have realized from Kaizer Chiefs this season, especially from the match that I've watched, because Kaizer Chiefs has been playing and winning, but I wasn't in a way convinced. But after I've watched the match on Saturday, I was convinced that Kaizer Chiefs has indeed improved. Why am I saying that? The number one fact about Kaizer Chiefs is that Kaizer Chiefs is now a very, very, very difficult team to defeat. Very, very difficult team to beat this season. Why am I saying that? Kaizer Chiefs play a normal pattern just like Orlando Pirates. It's 4-2-3-1. That is the pattern that they normally play. But Kaizer Chiefs is more deadly in terms of the counter-attack. And they play with speed. And play with counter-attack. And they mostly rely on players such as Mdu Dlamini and Gaston Serino. So something that has improved from them is the speed. They've introduced speed in their play, and they've got players that are complementing that system, which is Mdu and Gaston Serino and Wandile Duba, also very important in their game model. I want to speak about the department that Kaizer Chiefs has improved on, starting from the back. Number one, I don't think Kaizer Chiefs has a best goalkeeper in Ntirwa. The only reason Ntirwa is not seen or is seemingly not conceding is because of the defense that he has. The most important department that Kaizer Chiefs has improved on is the central defense. The partnership of Dudley and Miguel, very, very, very important partnership. I was very impressed with those two. And I'm going to say the reason, especially looking at each player individually. What you get from Miguel, they've got different qualities, of course, but those qualities complement each other. What you get from Miguel, you get the aggression, you get the enthusiasm, the passion, and the love for the team. If you see Miguel, he plays with passion and he plays for the team. You can see that. You can see that in how he tackles. You can see that in how he just expresses himself when he plays in that particular department, in the defensive duties. The tackles that he makes, you can see he works for the team. You can see that in his eyes. He's also not that bad in his feet. But what I love about him is the fight. Hard marker, very aggressive, very aggressive. He plays rough, but plays rough in a way that is very impressive, because you can see that he plays for the team, plays for the badge. He understands the role. He understands the importance of playing for a team like Kaizer Chiefs caliber. I can say without a doubt that Miguel is an ideal player to play for a big team like Kaizer Chiefs. You can see them because he plays with aggression, plays with love, with passion. He works and fights for the team. You can see that in his eyes. He loves the team, plays for the team. That's what you get with Miguel. Dudley. What you get from Dudley is not a hard marker, but is a timer's marker. He plays with a lot of timing. He's not a hard tackler. He's a person who intercepts. He's a person who is able to carry the ball with his feet. The same thing that Nda does for Orlando Pirates. You see that from Dudley. When I watch Dudley, I'm reminded of Olisa Nda, because what you get from Olisa Nda is not a hard tackler. Dudley is also not a hard tackler. But what you get from them is the timing of their interception, the ability to just rebuild from the back, very comfortable on the ball, very, very comfortable. He plays clean. He doesn't make fouls. That's what you get from Dudley. Plays very clean, comfortably, plays with a lot of relaxation. A good and technically gifted left footer, very technically gifted left footer. You can see that he can even play in the midfield the way he's so comfortable on the ball. And in terms of Riff Fosler. I don't want to talk much about Riff Fosler, but I've always believed that Riff Fosler is a good player. The reason he wasn't seen is because of the people that he was surrounded by. But he has always been a good player. I can also argue that if you recall the season where Ernest Middendorp is it Ernest Middendorp or Kevin Hunt? There was a time when Riff Fosler was playing a very important role in that midfield, getting into the midfield and being able to progress the play for the team. So I've always believed that Riff Fosler is a good player, very, very good player. And getting to the midfield, the only person that I was impressed with, which is Samukelo Zwane. Samukelo Zwane is a good player, even though I don't think Samukelo Zwane is a good holding midfield. I think he plays a similar role. He can play a similar role, just like what we got from Xavi Hernandez from Barcelona. Not a good marker, not a good tackler, but someone who's comfortable on the ball, who is able to pass the ball forward, who can progress the play for the team. I believe he is an ideal man for that position. He's not a good tackler, he's not a good marker. The reason he is not exposed, especially in his defensive duties, is because of the front three that he has. Because what you get from Kaizer Chiefs is now they are playing as a team, and the front three is press resistance, and that is the reason the midfield is not exposed. Supersport was forced to play long balls. Why? It's because of Wandile Duba, Mdu Shabalala, and Chivaviru. Because what they do in terms of when Supersport starts the ball from the back, they would press them. They are press resistant. And when they are press resistant, they force Supersport to play long balls. And long balls are anybody's balls. So that's the reason Kaizer Chiefs is able to win those balls when Supersport play long and diagonal balls. Kaizer Chiefs were able to win those balls. So the reason, as I was saying about Samukelo Zwane, the reason he wasn't exposed in terms of the defensive duties, as I was saying, is not a good holding midfielder, is a good attacking midfielder. I believe, as I've said, he plays like more of a, not the same, but more of a Xavi Hernandez, the same role that he plays, because Xavi Hernandez was always in the midfield. It was Iniesta that was doing a lot of box to box, but Xavi, you always found him in the midfield. You always found Xavi in the midfield, not doing defensive duties, but taking the balls from the defensive people, taking the balls from the likes of Puyol and Piqué. So in Kaizer Chiefs, Samukelo is able to collect the ball from people such as Dudley and Miguel, and is able to progress the ball to the likes of Mdu. And that's the reason I'm saying is very comfortable on the ball. And I believe he still has a lot of room of improvement, even though he plays softly. He's a soft player. That's the reason I'm saying he doesn't play with aggression. He plays with more relaxation and comfortability. Very comfortable on the ball. A very good player in terms of attacking, but not defensive. And the reason his defensive weaknesses is not exposed is because of the front three that they have and the press resistance of the front three. If you look at Duba, very important player for Kaizer Chiefs. Duba able to give you something when going forward, able to give you something when defending. If you look at how Duba played, the left back, was Duba playing on the left back? Yes. And what you get from Duba is that Cross is the weakest link in that Kaizer Chiefs system. And the reason Cross is not exposed is because Duba would constantly go back and help him, and that is the reason Cross is not exposed. And also Duba also gives you something when going forward, gives you something for press resistance, gives you a lot of things. That's what I'm saying. Duba is an important player for that Kaizer Chiefs team, and is going to be an important player for them going forward. And then when you look at Mdu, very important player for them again. Very important player. Why am I saying that? Gives you something in terms of the press resistance. He presses a lot, press non-stop. That's the reason Supersport was not allowed to 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 combine from the back. They were forced to play long passes because of the press resistance from the likes of Mdu and Wandile Duba. And what Mdu gives you, Mdu is able to, because it's also good on the ball, able to make defense splitting passes, and also gives you the off the ball runs. What are off the ball runs? For an example, he goes into the, let's say someone comes with the ball and he will run into the 18 area. You will also find him in the 18 area, and he will run diagonally, he will run straight. He will also give passes, defense splitting passes. So off the ball runs are very, very important because they create space, because that's the, you move, you divide the defense by off the ball runs. So it's very, very important again for a player to run into better position when he doesn't have the ball, so that he can divide those central defending or that particular defense. So that's what Mdu gives you. He gives you the comfort, he gives you the forward play, he's also very skillful, very comfortable on the ball. That's the reason you see him sometimes scoring goals, is because he runs into the 18 area. Let's say Sorino comes with the ball on the side, and then Mdu would make what we call a third man run, and very, very important runs, and he runs into better spaces. He always finds himself in a free position to receive the ball and progress their play for the team. Very, very important player for them. In terms Serino gives you the individual brilliance, the ability to dribble, to eliminate, the ability to carry the ball for a longer time and going forward. He doesn't delay the play. He carries the ball for a long time and is able to dribble, to eliminate, so that he can find the likes of Chivaviro and Mdu in the 18 area. Very, very important player for them. He's important in terms of attacking, because I believe in terms of defending, Serino he makes a lot of unnecessary fouls. But in terms of going forward, he is an important player for them, especially on the system that Kaizer Chiefs play, because Kaizer Chiefs play a transitional play with speed. They play with a lot of speed. So that is the reason they defeated Supersport United. They play with speed. They don't delay the ball. Play with speed. And also Chivaviro is not clinical on the ball, but it's important in terms of the press resistance. Very, very important in terms of the press resistance. And yeah, but in terms of the converting those chances that are being created is not good in terms of converting those chances into goals. And that is the reason you saw him being emotional, because there was a chance that he was alone and he just missed that opportunity. So, but in terms of how the system of the team, I believe is very, very important, because press resistance, that's what the front three of Kaizer Chiefs, Mdu, Wandile Duba, Chivaviro, very important in terms of defensive duties, press resistance. They are able to assist the team. They are the first line of defense, and Supersport was not allowed to start the ball from the back because of those three. And then in terms of Yusuf Mard, people that I'm still doubtful of is Yusuf Mard, Cross, the left back, and yeah, but other players have improved a lot. And also the goalkeeper, I'm not convinced about the goalkeeper, but in terms of the goalkeeper, I don't have that much problems, because the strength of a goalkeeper is determined by the defense that he has, the midfield that he has. Because before you get into him, you must go through those people. So if you have a weaker midfield and a weaker defense, then your goalkeeper is anyway going to be exposed. So yeah, those are the things that I was impressed with Kaizer Chiefs, and I was very, very impressed with how they play. They play as a team, and I believe they are a coachable team. When you look at Wandile Duba, the role that he's playing, you can see that he plays via instruction from the coach. Defensive duties, able to assist the person that you play with on the side, able to assist cross, able to also give something when going forward. Mdu, able to defend, to be the first line of defense, able to also play defense splitting passes, able to also run into dangerous possession, open spaces for the likes of Chivaviro, the reason the likes of Chivaviro found themselves in empty spaces where they don't have any player with them. It's because of the of the ball runnings, the third man runnings, people running diagonally, people running straight. That's where you see him, the likes of Chivaviro, being free and having those opportunities. It's because of important players such as Wandile Duba, Mdu Shabalala, and the likes of Serino. They create those spaces by running diagonally, running straight, running, though whatever the running that they do, it creates space for them, for the likes of Chivaviro in the 18 area. Then that's the reason you find the likes of Chivaviro being free a lot of the time and missing those particular chances. I believe Chivaviro, if he can just improve in terms of the converting those opportunities that are created into goals, I believe Kaizer Chiefs is going to be a deadly team. They play with transition, with speed, they've got individual brilliance from Serino, Mdu, and yeah, they play as a collective actually, but they need, I believe, that if they are to win the league, if they are to win cups, they need to find a stronger defensive midfield, someone of Magaman's qualities. If you know the Magaman of Supersport, someone of the aggression from Magaman. If you know someone of, I believe, Mteto, if I'm not sure I don't know what happened to Mteto ever since he got into Kaizer Chiefs, because he's no longer the same player, but you need the same hard-working player to play that number 6 position, and Samgelo must play the number 8 position. I believe Yusuf Mart, I still have a lot of questions about him, but yeah, but for now, the team is playing collectively and they're able to work as a collective, and that is the reason people like Mart and Cross are not exposed. It's because of the team plays as a collective, and you have the front three playing as the first defense. The defense of Kaizer Chiefs starts from the front three. The front three is able to press the players who are playing on the defensive part on the opposition, and then that's the reason Supersport was not allowed to just combine from the back. They were allowed to just play long balls, and long balls are won majority of the time they were won by Kaizer Chiefs. So they were very dangerous, and I was very, very happy with Kaizer Chiefs, and I just hope they maintain that system, and then I believe they are going to be a very difficult team to beat this season. They are already a difficult team to beat because of how they play. So yeah, it's very, very difficult to score against them. Very difficult to score against them because you've got everyone in the team doing the defensive duties. Everyone in the team is doing the defensive duties. There's no player that just walks around in the game. Everyone is plays a role in the. Everyone, I believe, knows the role. The only question that I have is the central midfield of Kaizer Chiefs, and the only question that I have is that of Yusuf Mart. And then in terms of Samgelo Zwane, a good player, but I believe he's not a good holding midfield. He's a good number 8 attacking midfield. They need to find a defensive midfield, a strong and aggressive defensive midfield. I believe that's what now they lack. And if they can just find that role, a left back and also a defensive midfield player, I believe they're going to be a very, very difficult team to beat, and they will be contenders for these cups and the league also. Yeah, this is the gigantic intellect. Know the self and remember your ancestors. Peace.